In this lesson, we're going to check out how we can use ChatGPT to do technical website optimization for SEO. Technical website optimization is something that it is probably the most complicated or knowledge-dense part of SEO, right? You have to understand coding, you have to understand different languages, HTML, PHP, CSS, Ajax, JavaScript, Java, what other things are, server side, user side, whatever stuff, all of the different things, you have to understand and know what Google thinks about them and how it is able to index or crawl them, right? So AI will be extremely good and can be really usable in analyzing the technical SEO of your website. It is true that right now there's not really a lot of usage of that, even though some tools, SEO tools, tell you that they are using AI for the one or the other stuff, but in general, they're not. But there are a couple of instances that I found where we can use ChatGPT to analyze the technical things on our website. In the future, I'm pretty sure that the ChatGPT is going to be able to go and fetch the source of the website and give you all of some stuff that is wrong with that. And it's going to be used in tools that are going to help you with your technical optimization. But for now, we have to do stuff manual. But here are the ideas of what you can do. Let's go to the idea number one. And that is checking if our URLs and thinking about are our URLs great or not. Google tells us that the simpler that our URLs are, the better it is. Google also tells us that we should be using keywords within our URLs and that they should be static URLs. So let's just go and ask ChatGPT, is this URL optimal for SEO? And then just paste your URL in there. It says it's difficult to say whether a specific URL is optimal for SEO without knowing more about the context. But there are things you can do to make your URL more SEO friendly. Number one, use keywords in your URL. Number two, use a clear and concise URL structure. Number three, use hyphens to separate the word. Keep your URLs short and avoid using special characters. All of these things are relevant for this URL because we don't use hyphens. In the part of the URL, it tells us that we should use hyphens because the URL is sort of long. It tells us that our URLs should be shorter, right? We can also ask that this website uses the INT subdomain, so international.etam.com. Is it okay that we use if it's okay to use an international subdomain, and we get an explanation of that, if that is good or not. And it tells us the most important thing: subdomains are treated as separate websites by search engines, even though Google changed sort of that, but it's still looking at them in such a way, and we get all of the other ideas. So we can, if you have a web shop where you have weird URLs and you're not sure if these are great, ask ChatGPT. There are other things that we can also ask ChatGPT, and the more programmatical or the more we go into the website code, the better the results are, right? One of the things that we want to see in international SEO are this. So the hreflang alternate tags. They have to show to the alternate version, a language version of any content to every other content, right? So in the code, this web page has a link to every other URL in every other URL language, any other language that it is supporting. They are a bit overdoing it, but that's okay. I can ask ChatGPT if my tags are okay, and it's going to check it and says, okay, it looks like they're working okay. And then it tells me stuff about how they should be used, right? and it finishes that overall it looks that it works well. But if we change that, if we go back and use the same code, but only make it, just have the empty country tags. Let's see what he's going to say. See, these links are missing the hreflang attribute. The hreflang attribute is used to indicate. So it tells you what is missing. It analyzes the text. It tells you what is missing. And it tells you why something is missing and how it should be done better. And what you can also do is you can just go and give it a random part of your website, a random part of your code, and it will tell you what's wrong with that. I just took, the first 40 lines of the code. You probably won't be able to put the whole code of your whole website into the Chat GPT because it has limitations on how much we can put in there. But if we put the beginning, like the first 50 lines, and ask it, can you analyze this code and tell me what we can optimize for SEO? It gives me great ideas. Find a descriptive page title. And it tells you which one is now and tells you how to change it. Add alt text to images. Of course, you want to optimize images. Create a better meta description. Consider adding structured data to the page. Very good. And other things that may not be really as great because, the subheadings, he didn't really analyze any subheadings, and meta keywords are not as relevant. Page load time is really relevant, but he didn't really analyze if the page load time is good or not. So some of those are really specific for exactly the code that we gave him, and some of the ideas are a bit more general. But still, SEMrush or Ahrefs or Moz, all of these tools will cost you hundreds of euros per month. Here you can do big parts of that for free by yourself. In the third part, when we talk about the technical optimization, we're going to talk about the page speed insights. So Google has given us a tool where we can analyze how fast our web page can load. And with that, we get a great tool to figure out what we can optimize on our website. Let's go and check it out. We can find the tool at pagespeed.web.dev, and we enter a URL into the page, and that's not a URL. We add a URL into the page, and we receive a result. The problem with these results is that it gives us a big list of results. It tells us for some of them what they are and how we can change them, but it's really hard to understand for non-technical people which of these should really be changed and what exactly do they mean. This is how we get results from page speed insights, right? It tells us how good we are on a scale from 1 to 10. It tells us how much time a user would need to load our page. And then it gives us opportunities, right? What we can do is we can copy this into ChatGPT. Can you tell me which one of these results from page speed insights is the most important one for us to change? And then it analyzes the text and tells us which of these are likely the most important. And it even tells you what these are and how we can do that. And we can of course, ask additional questions. How can I reduce unused JavaScript? So it analyzes the results we got from Google, and it gives you additional ideas of what those results results mean. All of these together, if you do them one by one URL by one URL, you will get great ideas on what are all of the technical things that you can change for your SEO. And with that, you'll get better SEO results.